You got a couple of nights.
Oh, yeah. I'm tired. Are we done yet? Oh, he was so cute. I wrote him yesterday.
So how has he been going? Pretty good? All right.
Hey, how are you? You grab any of the seats. Oh, you can bring them. Ours aren't good enough. Why not?
And just always remember with him, he likes to be hollow right and a little bit stiff left. Or like right now, he's a little bit too straight in the neck, so therefore he looks like he wants to flex a little right. So just take a teeny bit more left flexion to make sure that he's definitely concave left and connected on the right rein. Yes. Correct. Because otherwise he a little bit likes to always flex to the right. Do you agree? Yeah. Okay. How is the connection in your hands right now? What kind of pressure is he putting on your hands? How does he feel?
Doesn't feel too bad. Definitely a little bit more on the right rein than the left rein.
Okay. So, and the reason why I asked that question is, and I don't see it as a negative, I don't see it as a bad thing to do. You can start him, especially if they're a little bit wanting to brace anyway, or they want to come start him a little deeper like you're doing right now. But if he's now starting to feel pretty good, I would like to see that you could let the reins a teeny bit longer, so then therefore he can start to bring his nose a little more forward. But always, if at the beginning he still feels kind of tight and he feels like, oh, okay, I'm just going to want to brace up, then yeah, take him a little deeper like you were in the very beginning of the ride. Yes. But then as you continue to warm up and he starts to feel a little more through and you've done some changes of directions and some leg yields and he's starting to feel better, then you want to say to yourself, okay, I want the pole the highest point, I want the nose right to the vertical. And sometimes you'll go there and then they'll trick you and they'll be like, oh no, I'm still wanting to brace. Okay, so then you fix that, you make them a little deeper again a moment, and then you always look to allow that nose to be at the vertical or even a half inch in front of the vertical. Good, and your leg yields to the right are going to be your most important to really make sure that he gives you that good left flexion in the jaw. So as you leg yield here to the right, increase the flexion left, soften a little bit the right rein, let him flex a little more left. After you get the left flexion, then come back in with the right rein to control the shoulder more. Yes, correct. That's getting better. So like right here, start with a little extra left flexion, then come in, yes, now start using the right rein to control the shoulder. Good. Watch the speed. See, when you did that, then if you keep driving, he starts to get a little runny in the leg yield, yes? Good. Every chance you can, trust him. Give him a teeny bit softer rein connection. See if he'll start to come a little more forward with the nose. Yes. So yeah, exactly. Use the mirror. Keep saying to yourself, like right there. There the nose was perpendicular. Right there, right by the letter P. So keep slowly looking for the nose to come that ½ inch or so more forward. Yes, like right there is very good. Then he dumps just a little bit there. Yes, right there is very good again. Perfect. Correct. That's where you need him to want to be. Good. Good. Change directions, but make him stay the same in the pole. Always remembering that, yeah, there's sometimes he wants to brace and you need to close your hand into a fist. But if you keep holding that pressure, then he'll start to curl. So you have to make the correction, the resisting, saying, hey, here's your boundary. Then you have to soften again to allow him to bring the nose. Good boy. So there's definitely some trusting that has to go on, and you trust more after they're more warmed up and more through. Correct. Very good here. And then the next time, right before you ask for a lengthening, I want you to actually allow him to be an inch above the bit before you start adding your leg for the lengthening. Make him an inch above the bit and then ask for the lengthening. Then you'll be able to take the connection you want in the lengthening and it won't make him come behind the bit. Very good. Very good. Because then he stays with this right on the vertical. Does that make sense? Good. So do that exact same thing, but expect him to go bigger in the lengthening. Ask him to go more forward, but you were correct with getting him a little bit above. Then you can have the connection in the hand that you want. Now close the leg more. Close the leg bigger. Yes. See that to me, then you can resist a little bit with the rein. Only the last few steps did he really kind of kick into a second gear. You want that. There you start to be a little too tough with your hands. Be softer, be softer. Make the lengthening again a little bit above the bit first. Then as you ask him to go more forward, you can close your hand a little stronger to prevent him from coming. Like there, just close your hand and keep closing your leg. Bring him back again. Again, just a teeny bit in front of the vertical. Then the more you drive, you can close your hand just a little bit more to prevent him from coming above the bit more than that. Yep. Close the leg more. More. Yes. That's a better lengthening. Easy. Good boy. And then you have to be soft. Once you bring him back, you have to make the half halt. Then you have to be softer with your hand, otherwise he wants to curl. Shoulder in left. Start with a little shoulder in left. Close your hand. Keep closing your leg though. Good. Good. On this long side, a little shoulder into the right. So through the corner, you're thinking already shoulder four. It's right leg and left rein with a little bit of right flexion, a little more right flexion than that. And then you need to make the angle bigger. Take a circle here, 15 meters or so. Get the bend that you would put on a normal circle. Make him bend on the circle. Good. Not too strong with the hand or he'll curl, right? Now from that you need that bend and then into a shoulder in. Right leg, left rein. See, you want to make him straight before you go to the shoulder in. Think of making the extra stride of turning where you would normally say go straight down the long side. Turn him for one more stride, then put the inner leg on to hold that angle. Extra stride of turning. Yeah, now right leg. But does that make sense? Because you want to, you just go, okay, go straight. You have to make one more stride of turning, then just put on the inside leg. One more stride of turning. Come on, come on. Now inside leg. Yes, there's your shoulder in. Does that make sense? Correct. Now, be softer. We want him still on the vertical, not behind. Good. So you have to be willing to make that one or two more strides of turning, then immediately apply inner leg. Then you have your angle. Then you can control the angle from inside leg and outside rein. Extra stride of turning. Keep turning. Now right leg. Yes. Now soften your hand. Just a little. Little more angle again. That's right leg, left rein. Good. Correct. Good. Change rein on the diagonal again. A little lengthening. Think of what you need to do prior to adding the leg for the lengthening. You need to first here, let him a little above the bit. Now close the leg. As you close the leg more, close your hand a little more into a fist. Good. No big deal. That's just a little bit about the timing. As you step more on the gas, you have to close your hand just a little more than what you had at the start. Shoulder in again now to the left. Think of the extra stride of turning, and don't be afraid to bend him left. Yeah, so this way it's going to be tougher because you're not always willing to make him flex enough to the left. Yes. One more time. Make the shoulder in on the next long side. Soften the hand here, otherwise he comes a little behind the vertical. Correct. Think of the extra stride of turning. Extra stride of turning. Come on, come on, bend him. Good. Now left leg. Yes. Now, you're too straight in the neck. Don't you agree? Soften the right rein a little bit. Ah, there you have nose to the point of the inside shoulder. Does that make sense? That you don't want the neck still 100% straight in the shoulder in. You need to have enough flexion that his nose is in line with the inside shoulder, the point of his inside shoulder. So allow him to flex more left. So soften the right rein just a little. Ask for the left bend. Good. Then come back in with the right rein. Correct. Yeah, and that's when then a little bit he sucks behind your leg because he's like, oh, that's so much tougher. So you have to then use the inner leg saying, come on, buddy, you can keep going forward. Good for you. Soften your hand on the short side. Always remember, the short sides are like a profile, yeah? And they can definitely tell if you're a little behind or a little above the bit. Left leg, soften your right rein. Get him bent more left. Make a third. Yes! Now come in with the right rein. Does that make sense? That if you're holding hard on the right rein, he's not going to bend left without curling. Does that make sense? But if you soften a little bit the outside rein, get the bend, and then come back in with the outside rein. Circle here. Let's warm up the can. Or let's give him a walk break a moment. Sorry. Does that make sense what I'm saying, though, about that left bending? That in the corner, just a little bit soften your inside rein so you get the left bend first. As soon as you get the left bend, then slowly start taking the outside rein a little better connection. But if you're holding hard on the right rein and you ask for left bend, the only way he can give you left bend is if he drops behind the vertical, right? What's your shirt say? Tread step. Oh, it's a pub in Ireland or something? Tread. Oh, it's a boot company. Cool. All right, it's a nice logo. I like it. Yeah, I like it. He looks a lot better. Yeah. How's the shows going this year? Have you done any yet?
We've had one, which was okay.
It was okay?
And they put a new footing 4 days before.
Uh-huh.
With sand, or beach sand.
Really deep. Yeah, that's not so good. There you go.
They just tell you she's going to put Jared in the event show.
No, We'll have to ask about that one.
Jacob's finally.
Yeah?
I think it's easy to
That's what I was just hearing. Yeah? Perfect. When is that? I might have to come down just to watch that one. August? Wow.
Jessica Wisdom with that Northwest sky said you just did just
There you go. Perfect.
Do they make jumps that small?
All right, let's pick him back up again. Good for you with the left flexion. And just use a little left leg so he doesn't fall to the left. Yes. Good. When you're ready, to the trot, and then let's warm up the canter. Good. Soften the hand a little bit. Yes. Yeah, and then soften the hand again. Perfect. That's the right timing for that. And then you want to ask for the canter after you've put on the inside leg, bent him a little left, put him into the right outside rein, and right as you're wanting to soften the inner rein is the moment you use the inner leg to say canter. Very good. And again, soften the inner rein. Keep the inner leg there or he falls into the inside. Yes. Allow him to canter a little bit more at the beginning, just that he's a teeny bit more forward. Keep playing a little bit, inside leg, inside rein. When he moves to the outside rein and comes a little bit softer, then you allow him to go more forward and soften the inner rein. Good. Good. And remember, Jacob, try to allow him to canter. Don't drive him every stride. Just sit there a little bit sometimes. Yes. That when you need to close your leg or drive with your seat, do so. But then think, okay, cruise control button, he should be able to handle cantering on his own a little bit, right? That you shouldn't have to drive him every single stride. You've got to trust him a little bit. Very good. Take him large, a teeny bit shoulder forward left. Remember the extra stride of turning? And inner leg. Good. That should help him again to get to the outside rein. It's a little more work for the horse, but if you practice that a little bit more, it'll help him to connect better to the right rein with left bend. It'll also make the inner hind stronger. Very good. Not too much angle, otherwise he'll break to the trot because it'll be too hard for him. Good. What it's also going to do is make it where then eventually you can let go more of the inner rein. And he'll stay bent a little bit left even though you don't have a lot of inside rein. Don't drive every stride. Are you driving every stride? Yes. Good. 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 When you're ready, find the trot. Prior to the trot, you must collect the canter a little bit. You have to collect the canter from the outside rein, use a little bit that shoulder forward. So see, that's where you lose it just a little, is in the collection on the way down. Left lead canter one more time, and I want you to use that same shoulder in that you were using before on the long side. Just position him a little bit shoulder forward to the left, but then what happened was you let his haunches kick out to the right as he was coming to the trot. Does that make sense? Then he lost the engagement that you had started to develop in the canter. So take left lead canter one more time. Good. Use that, yeah, better canter. Don't overdrive with your seat. Think shoulder in to the left, on the circle. But make sure the right leg stays back so he doesn't kick his haunches to the right. Good. Collect it a little bit more as if you were going to canter in place a couple strides. Not too hard with your seat. If you drive too hard down with your seat, you push his back down. Good. And then when you're ready, find the trot. As soon as he trots, a little half. Yes, better. Much better. When you're ready, change directions and we'll warm up the right lead canter. Don't get him too deep. Good. And again, you're always looking for the moment where you can be softer in a rein and just keep him on the bit from inside leg and outside rein. Good. You ask for canter at the moment where you're like, oh, I could give my inner rein and he would stay here. That's when you use the inside leg and ask for canter. Good for you. Don't drive every stride. See if you can soften the inner rein. Remember, the more pressure on the inner rein, the more you block the inside hind, the more you have to drive to keep him in the canter. Does that make sense? So the more you can get off the inner rein, the less you have to drive. Good. Use that little shoulder in to the right as you come down the long side. Yes. Then get soft again a moment. Use again a little shoulder in to the right, that extra stride of turning, and then apply the right leg, and then balance him from the left rein. Yes. Now try to soften the right rein a little bit. Then use it again. And then soften it again. And then use it again. Because if you just hold it, he'll just rely on it. But if you give it away once every now and then he starts to have to carry himself. Once again, shoulder and right. Extra stride, good. Right leg. Left rein. Now soften the right rein. Good. Good. Correct. Don't drive every stride with your seat. There you go. Good. Circle again here. Start collecting the canter in preparation for the trot. Use that shoulder in, because you feel him have to collect when you use the shoulder in, right? Yes. Keep making little outside rein half halts to make him canter more in place. More in place. No big deal. There he fell to the trot on his own. You weren't quite ready. Canter right again. Good. Collect it a little bit more. Left rein, but keep thinking you're riding him shoulder in, so you'll keep the right leg being active and keep making little outside rein half halts. When you're ready for the trot, just soften, allow him to trot. Yes, better. Good, soften. Otherwise he gets, yes. Absolutely correct, and soften again. So remember, you ride from half halt to half halt. That doesn't mean you hold the half halt the whole time. You make a half halt, then you soften. Then when you need another one, you make it and you soften. Change directions again. Make a little leg gill. Counterflex him here left. Make one more circle. Sorry, I'm telling you all this too late. Make one more circle. Counterflex him a little bit left and leg gild him to the right when you get over by V. That's how I'm going to make you change directions. You leg gild him to the right till you hit the center line. Then you can go to C, track left. Keep finding moments, even in the middle of the leg yield, that you can soften. Good. Good for you. Little right rein half halt. Good. Now balance him, because you have to then tell him to go straight and track left. So there you let the haunches kick out when you turned left, though. So you had a beautiful leg yield, you were on center line, and then you went to turn left, and the haunches went 2 feet to the right. So practice even your corners here. Prior to the corner, get left bend. Once you have left bend, turning from right rein, but you waited until you got in the corner. Prior to getting into the corner, get left bend right now. Good. Now turning from the right rein through the turn. Yes. So each corner, you have to get the inside flexion first, and then make the turn from outside rein while maintaining the inner leg. Yes, and then get soft afterwards on the inner rein. Good. Get the left bend again, turning from right rein. Good. Now get soft inner rein again. Super. Every corner has to be that way. Inside flexion, turning from the outside rein, keep the inner leg there, and then soften it. Correct. Walk again. Good. Free walk. I'm thinking a little test-like now. Very good. It's a good walk. Good. The one thing I want you just to be really conscious in your head, and I want you to correct it, when you're walking, you always want to take your inside hand down to bend him. I want you to keep your inside hand up, and if anything, take your inside rein, like when you want to drop it down, take it a little, yes, to your belly button. What does that do? That immediately pushes him back to the outside rein. Does that make sense? Whereas when you drop the inside hand down low, you pull him onto the inside shoulder and he falls in on the circle, yeah? Ah, see, that's really good left flexion when you do that. Then he has to go to the outside rein and get off the inside. Very good. Because he likes to drop the right rein, doesn't he? He likes to straighten the neck and drop the right rein. So you got to keep encouraging him to go to the right rein so you can get off the left. Yes, correct. 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 Very good. Now, with this in mind, of not letting him just absolutely straighten his neck and brace, keep him connected on the right rein, shorten your reins back up, and we'll take him back to work. But he has to stay wanting to go to the outside rein from inside leg and an occasional use of inside rein. Good. Now you feel him in your right rein already, don't you? Yes. Then when you're ready, position a teeny bit shoulder forward left in the walk, and then use left leg to ask for left lead canter from the walk. The timing's important. It's got to be right as you're releasing or softening a little bit the inner rein that you ask for left lead canter. No big deal. Little bit break. Ah, good for you giving the inner rein though. Don't drive every stride with your seat. Soften your hands. Whenever you feel him like, oh, I got it, he wants to quit, soften the hands a little bit. Push with your leg and seat. Because you can't always push into a really strong resisting rein because then he can't go. Good. Super here in the canter. Good. Now, for 2 or 3 strides, use the shoulder and left, collect the canter a few strides, and then allow it to go forward again. Forward being coming back to this canter. Think of the shoulder and left. Not too strong with your seat in the collecting. If you drive too much down, he drops his back. Think of the shoulder and left. What happened? He's got a dead-on straight neck and his circle is getting smaller and smaller to the left. You have to use the shoulder into the left. Good. Now that he's into the right rein, now make the right rein half halt. Yep, right rein half halt. Right rein half halt. Right rein half halt. Right, yes. And then just allow him to go forward. Don't drive him, just allow it. Good. Once again, collect the canter. Keep thinking of the shoulder into the left. No, he's dead on straight in the neck. He has to have left flexion. And then once he fills up the right rein, you can use the right rein to half halt and collect him. No big deal. Good for you. Rebalance him. Take the left lead canter. Good transition. If he's not going into the right rein, you can't collect him because it's the right rein that has to collect him. So you've got to get him to want to connect on the right rein so you can use the right rein to ask him to collect a little. Good. Good boy. Now let him go forward again. Allow it. Just soften everything and allow him forward. Good. And then you can close the leg a little bit and ask him to go a little more forward. A few strides, a little lengthening feeling. Not too much seat or he drops his back. Good. Now collect him again. Think shoulder and left to make him collect. Right rein half halts. Good. Find moments in there to give. So there you knew he was about to break, but you kept holding really hard on the left rein. Does that make sense? The more you hold on the inside rein, the more you block the inner hind, the less he can canter. Canter left again. That's okay. Remember, you can only ask for canter when he's soft on the inner rein. So you got to get him to bend, yeah, now canter. Yeah, that's the right moment. And then get soft again in a rein. Yes, there he's more connected on the right rein. Yes? Yeah, I really like this better. Good. Once again, collect the canter. And remember, the collecting of the canter is not a constant hold on any rein. It's off and on. And the timing to use the right rein is when the front leg comes up in the air, which would be now, 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 now. Any of those strides, at that moment, you could make a little outside rein half halt. But after the time you hear my voice say now, you have to soften. Yes! Because if you keep holding, you're trying to defeat gravity. Does that make sense? Good. Good. Find the trot. Oh, there he's counterflexed a little bit. Yes. Use the left leg, left rein, getting back to the right rein. Good. Now you can half halt the right rein again and find the trot. Think about it. Yes. Good correction on your part. Good. On the circle, show me a little haunches in to the left. Remembering again that you're not going to hold him in an angle. You're going to apply your aid and you're going to soften a little bit. If he makes a mistake, takes away the bend or takes away the haunches, you'll correct it again and then you'll soften again. So he starts to do it on his own. Good. Good. Now keep the haunches in the same and use the right rein half halt to turn the shoulders as if you were going to do a pirouette in the trot. But it's off and on right rein. It can't be a steady hold. You can use right rein and a little bit right knee to turn his shoulders to the left, but keep the left bending. Yes. Yes. A little more turning the shoulder. Keep the haunches where it is, a little more turning the shoulder. Good. Little tickle with the whip just in the stride, So it could be tap, 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 tap. Make him turn again, smaller. Tap, tap. Good. Now take left lead canter, right from there. That same position. Now make a pirouette. A little bit of a pirouette in the canter. So I didn't really want you to leave that. Yes. So you keep that same little haunches in. Good. Don't overdrive with your feet and hold with your hands. You have to be off and on. Legs, feet. Good. Otherwise, yes. Find the same moments to half halt. Good. Good. Now find the trot. Stay there with the haunches in. Stay there. So you're not going to leave this kind of little pirouette feel. Good. Little tap with the whip in the rhythm. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Add your left bend back in. Good. Good. Now, when you take the canter, you'll stay with haunches in. You'll stay on the same side circle. Good. And ask for the canter from left leg. Good. Half halt, outside rein. Good. There he starts to use better the left hind. Can you feel it? Yep. Good boy. Ask for the trot again. Right rein. Keep him in haunches in to the left. Good. Haunches in. Tap. Little taps. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Correct. Let him walk. It's a really good exercise to help getting more through. Does that make sense? For right now, you don't want to go smaller than that, but you want to be able to go trot, canter, in that same kind of size. But when you want to collect sometimes, you want to just squeeze really hard and hold, right? That bottles him up, and then he can't keep cantering because there's never a moment where you soften to allow him to keep the energy. You've got to think, half halt, soften a little bit, half halt, soften a little bit, half halt, soften a little bit. Okay? But he looks a ton better. Good, we'll work the canter to the right a little bit that same way. Because eventually when we can get him to sit a little bit more on the hindquarters, you'll stop feeling like you have to hold and drive always in the canter. You'll actually figure out how to relax and not be driving all the time, and it'll be when you finally relax and he stays in the canter that his canter quality will get much better. Good. When you're ready, we'll pick him back up. Good. Not too deep. Yes. Good boy. When you're ready, you'll take the trot. And then, after a circle in the regular trot, we'll make a circle with haunches in. Remember, you can't ask for, I knew that was going to happen. You can't ask for trot unless he's soft on the inner rein, which means he's connecting to the outside rein. You have to be able to soften it. Aha, do you feel how much better that was? But that's because you weren't having to hold him on inside and outside rein and drive with your leg. Does that make sense? Yes. Very good. Very good. Find moments to give a little bit, otherwise he curls a little too deep. Good. Bring your haunches in. Start on a big circle, haunches in. Yep, little at a time. Good boy. Off and on inner rein, you can't hang on it. Yes. Good. Now, start using the left knee and the left rein to turn the shoulders a little more and make it a little bit like a pirouette in the trot. Good. And remember, when I say left knee and left rein, it's got to be off and on. It's not a constant hold left knee and hold left rein. It's off and on. Good. Little taps with the whip in the rhythm of the trot. Tap, 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 tap. Good. Very good. Very good. Now, use the right leg to take the canter. Soon as he canters, it's again outside leg and outside rein to make him think a little pirouette-y. Yes, off and on. Good. Don't drive with your seat too much. Don't push down with your seat too much. Good. Turn the shoulders a teeny bit more. You've got plenty of haunches, so turn the shoulder. Yes. There he uses the right hind way better. You're overdriving with your seat. You're trying too hard. Relax a moment. Yes. Now you can drive again a moment, but then relax a moment. Good. Find the trot. Don't let the haunches kick out. Haunches in. Good. Super. Super. Good. Good. Take the canter again. Good. Pirouette thinking. Good. Make it a little smaller. Left rein half halt here. Left rein. You're driving too much. You're trying too hard. Good. Off and on. Good. Left rein. Left knee. Good. Find the trot. Very good. Very good. Make it a little smaller. Really like a walk pirouette a little bit in a trot for 1 or 2 steps. Yep. Turn. Turn. Good. 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 Now take the canter. Left rein half halts. Small, 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 small. Easy. Don't just hold. You got to half halt and soften. Half halt and soften. Turn the shoulders a little more. Bring him back to the trot again a moment. Did you see the size of pirouette you made in the trot? I want you to try to make, at least for the first couple steps, the same size in the canter. Does that make sense? But you can't do it by holding and pushing really hard. It's about the timing of adding the leg, making the half halt, adding the leg, turning the shoulder. Does that make sense? Good. Make the pirouette a little bit smaller in the trot again by turning the shoulders. So like right now, the timing for turning the shoulders would be when he picks up the outside shoulder. Does that make sense? So you want to touch left knee and left rein. Now, now, now. Now you could really make him turn. Does that make sense? You got to think of the same thing in the canter. It's not holding that 8 on. It's off and on with the timing. Good. Take the canter and immediately little out. Turn, 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 turn. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. And trot again. Turn, 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 turn. Good. And canter again. Turn, 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 turn. Good, 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 good. Yep, let him out big again. Yeah, better effort on your part. And do you see how you're not having to hold it all the time? It's got to be like the turn signal in the car. Off and on, off and on, off and on. Good. Collect the canter a little bit and find the trot. Same thing, collect by off and on, not overdriving with your seat. If you push down too hard with your seat, you drop his back, and then he wants to hollow in front. Good. Outside rein says trot when you're ready. Easy. Easy. Good boy. Find the trot from the left rein. Good. Good. Now, you're doing much better like in the trot. You see how much more relaxed you get in your seat in your lower back when you trot? Eventually, you'll be able to trust that and be that relaxed in your seat in the canter. Does that make sense? Very good. Very good. Little lengthening. Think about what do you need to do before you ask for a lengthening on the diagonal. A little above the bit. Good. Now you can be a little stronger with the rein. Yep. That's okay. Trot again. So a little bit is about timing, about when you start to close your hand. If you drive him too much before you close your hand, he starts to brace and change the connection, and then he breaks to the canter. Try it again. A little bit above the bit for the first couple strides. Then as you keep closing your leg, close your hand into a fist a little bit more. Yes. Now leave it there. Leave it there. That I can accept. Now slowly bring him back. Little half halts. Off and on. Off and on. Off and on. Yes. One more time, the lengthening. Same way. Little above the bit. Good. As you add the leg, close your hand, close your hand. Good. Leave it there. That's better. Off and on, half halts to bring him back. Little at a time. Step by step. Good. And then soften to him. Be soft here. Yeah, super. Little shoulder in left. Extra stride of turning. Left bend. Where's the left? Yeah, there you go. Good. Now little right rein half halts. Don't rush him. Don't rush him in it. Very good. Yes. Yes. Transition to the walk from the right rein. Very good. Jacob, that's like way better. Way, way better. You just have to, you're starting to trust in the trot work where you relax your seat a little bit and you kind of don't overwork. And the canter work still just a little bit. There are moments where you're like, oh, he's going to quit. I got to really, for one stride. Close the leg, but then soften. Close the leg again the next stride, and then soften. And you have to remember, you're really strong, so when you drive your seat down into his back, he goes, ugh, and he hollows his back. You want him to be able to hold his back up. So you can drive for one stride, but you can't drive repeatedly hard with your seat down because that makes him drop his back away from you. And when the back goes away from you, the hind leg goes backwards, then he wants to quit, then he gets heavy in the hands, then you get stronger in the hand, and it's like a vicious circle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Much, much better. That looks a ton better. You know? And play a little bit with that kind of trot, pirouette, canter, pirouette. And you're really just looking for one or two good steps, then come back to the trot, then go to the canter again, and that'll help get him to engage. And it also prevents you a little bit from driving too much with your seat. When you just try to stay in the canter, 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 you drive a little bit too much down with your seat. And you're not doing it intentionally. You're doing it because you feel he's going to break. But that actually makes him want to break more. Does that make sense? And the shoulder in was super. You have to think of that extra stride of turning. And then once he's in it, don't drive. Hey, okay, now you're in it. Now I can back off a little bit. Let's see what you do. If you make a mistake, okay, fine. You can add the leg and correct him about it. But keep giving him the option to do it on his own. Way better. I like that. You're very welcome. That was really good.